Welcome to podcast number 215. Are you addicted to emails? Yes, you are. Come on, don't kid. No, seriously. No, you're addicted. Come on. You know you're addicted. You have a problem. Stay with us.
This is the Elevate Construction Podcast, delivering remarkable content for workers, leaders, and companies in construction wanting to take their next step. Get ready to step out of your comfort zone with Jason Schroeder as he encourages you to do better, live a remarkable life, and expect more. Let's go.
Okay, welcome everybody. Sorry. I hope you're having a great day. I'm glad my voice is back. I'm sure you're glad that my voice is back too. I feel like it's been an eternity since I've been able to talk to you all because we had the 2 interviews last week and they were all packaged and ready to go. And I didn't have to gather on Sunday night to do a podcast. And now it's Monday night and here we are again. And I feel like, I feel like we're kindred souls. We're like reunited again. So we got a fun podcast for you tonight, tomorrow morning. I got to get that through my head. Anyway, the podcast, I want to talk to you about email management and the fact that don't look left or right. No, that's you are addicted to emails. I'm telling you, you got to stay with me here. So anyway, got lots of cool stuff. I am just kind of in a giddy, fun little mood tonight. I've got lots of stuff that I've chunked into the front part of this podcast because I'm just kind of in that mood right now. So that's what we're going to do. One little funny thing, I've got to tell you this. So we've got some boot camps coming up. And if you know anything about me, like my ideal is I want to outdo Tony Robbins. I want to outdo that for every boot camp that we do. Now, sometimes builders and teams, they're like, ooh, I don't know Jason very well. And we're not ready for this. We want to do from 8 to 5 instead of, the 6 to 9 o'clock at night, which is what I typically like to do when we're like jamming and teaching and focusing. Don't freak out if you want to hire me. We can do whatever you want. But when they like let the reins loose on me, we have the right food, the right environment, music, the DJ in the background, lighting. And what I want to talk to you about, movement, the agenda, activities, immersive courses, everything. And what I want to talk to you about tonight, just a funny little thing that happened to me. So Katie and I we've got a scheduling boot camp, a superintendent boot camp, another scheduling boot camp, survey boot camp, and on coming up. And I'm like, each of these just have to be perfect. Like as people are helping me prepare and they're formatting the PowerPoints and my kids are getting all the simulation events and games ready, like I'm thinking about the environment because I want people to leave just feeling that magical moment. Anyway, so she and I went to Bed Bath & Beyond. Little did I know we were going to spend $100 on my company credit card, meaning for Elevate Construction, on what they call wallflowers. I've never heard of this before, but I was like, Katie, we need a smell. I need an Elevate Construction smell. Anyway, so we got these wallflowers. Basically, they're little plug-in devices that wick the smell into the air. And so I'm testing all these things and just having a blast. Feel like I was a teenager again. Anyway, so I found the one for me. It's absolutely delightful. It's called In the Stars. And on the bottom of the description is warm and comforting. And I'm like, yes, this smells like Elevate Construction. Anyway, so the funny story I want to tell you. So I come out here into my little recording shed in the backyard and I open it up and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so heavenly. It's beautiful. And I'm like, if these things really smell that potent, we're going to do well. Anyway, so I go over here to the bottle on the wall and I'm like, why is it empty? And I realized I plugged the darn thing in upside down and it's all over the floor. But I'm telling you what, it smells so stinking good in this office. I feel kind of high, but it smells like Elevate Construction. And actually, I kind of feel In the Stars, and that's the name of this. So anyway, just want to let you know, if you've got Schroeder coming to your job and we're doing a boot camp, we're bringing Bed Bath and hold on, what do they say? Bath and Body Works. It's not Bed Bath and Beyond. What the heck am I thinking about? Anyway, Bath and Body Works. Anyway, these are like 0.8 fluid ounces. I can bring them on the plane. There's nothing holding me back. Like on we go. So that's my fun little story for tonight. I'm delighted at the smell. I'm almost thinking that it might just be worth it to pour these things out on the floor during the events because they smell so stinking good. Oh, anyway. So one thing that I saw on LinkedIn that I wanted to share with you. So, and it was a little sketch, and it was like how we're taught to measure success. And it shows a little pie chart, and it says half salary, half job title. And I thought, how true is that? And then it said a better way to measure your success. And it has this little pie chart with different measurements, and it's all split up into different pie segments. One is a very small segment is job title, salary. The other one is the quality of your free time, liking what you do, your physical health, your mental health. And I thought that's a cute little LinkedIn post. I'm going to share that on the podcast. So I think that's, no, I don't think that's absolutely 100% true. And so I just want to tell you, when you're successful is when you live a balanced life, when you're not so focused or zoned in on one aspect of your life that you're out of balance and unhealthy. And so, that's just been a really a themed thing as I'm coaching people and doing these coaching sessions. I tell you, the biggest problem that people have is that they do not live a balanced or a blended or whatever you want to call it life. Their wheel of life is not where it needs to be. And so I want to say to all of you tonight, welcome. I hope you're doing well, living the dream, stepping up, and that you're living a balanced life. So I do want to say something that kind of ties into that. And this goes along with the coaching that I do. So if I ever repeat it, if you do coaching, please forgive me. But think about, please, whether it's a 2-year-old or a 4-year-old or an 8-year-old or a 12-year-old, whatever, one of some of the cutest, most bubbly, positive, full of life kids that you know. It could be a niece, could be a nephew, it could be your own children. It could be anybody, but think about them. Somebody that you would think of cute. You're going to protect them. You would never want, you wouldn't want anybody to fall in harm's way for anybody. But these are the folks that you would really step up and protect them. Anyway, they're super cute, full of life. Imagine that little niece or that little nephew, and ask yourself: would you want them to feel like they're failing? Would you want them to feel like it's sad all the time? Would you want them to be bullied or to bully other people? Would you want them to have unhealthy relationships? Would you want them to go home and not get what they need emotionally? Would you want them to be wasting 40% of their day when you know that they have so much potential? And then here's what we really have to do to get our minds wrapped around what we're actually dealing with here. Now imagine you when you were 2, 4, 8, or 12. Whatever the cute little version of you was, imagine the pictures. You're opening up the, what do they call it? The scrapbooks, the family picture books or whatever. You with your curly little hair and your freckles or the mullet that you got that one year or whatever, this cute kid that's full of life and everything. Would you think it was okay for that kid to be unbalanced, to be wasting his or her time, to not be getting what he or she needs at home, to not have good relationships, to be sad all the time, depressed, stressed, all of these things? If the answer is no, let me ask you a question. What is the difference between that little kid and you now? And the answer is, and I can tell you, is there isn't. And my point is this: can you say that you're a person that's a leader? Can you say that you're a person that helps organize? Can you say you're a person that cares about people? Can you say that you're a leader of people? Can you say that you care about families? Can you say that you care about the development of others? Can you say that you're a giver if you do not give, care for, take care of, preserve, and protect yourself? And you're the only one that can answer that question. But if you're thinking about a why would I want to be better? Why would I want to improve my life? Why would I want to be more organized? Why would I want to suffer less? Why would I want to stop wasting my time? Why would I want to have my needs met in marriage? Why would I want these things? The why is that you deserve it, and you're disrespecting you. And there's not much difference between you and that little cute 8-year-old kid that you remember. You're disrespecting that little kid. You're disrespecting you, and it's disgusting. And you need to realize that if you just go out there in the world and take all the money and take everything and just take everything that you want and need and develop yourself and never give back, that's selfishness. But if you develop yourself and take care of your needs and become rich in whatever aspect you can become rich, and you make sure you have a good wheel of life, you're managing your health, your stress, your physical ability, your home relationships, your spirituality, everything, and then you use that to give to others, realizing that you can't give from an empty storehouse, that you can't loan money from an empty bank, that you can't give wisdom from an empty mind. That's the way it works. That's how giving works. And so I just encourage all of us to remember exactly what we're dealing with here, and that you deserve the best in life, and you deserve these great things, and you do not deserve the disrespect that you've been heaping upon yourself. And so I just think that that's a really solid message, and it ties in today with exactly what we're talking about being addicted to emails or work or being busy according to somebody else's schedule. One more thing by way of principle. I have always hated, at capital HATED exclamation point, hated the analogy of playing tennis. I used to have a guy at work that was like, it was being a PE, and then he became an assistant PM, and then eventually superintendent, but he was in charge of the office. And he was like, yeah, running the office is like playing tennis. You get an email, you get a message, and you just hit that ball back over into their court, and he'd make this little sound with his mouth that really pissed me off. Anyway, he's like, it's like tennis. You just hit it back in the court, hit him back, hit it back, comes in, hit it back. It's back in their court. And I'm like, just looking at it, I'm like, I've probably never heard anything as stupid as that. Life and work is nothing like tennis. And it's probably not even like football, soccer, or rugby, but I like football, soccer, and rugby better. And if somebody finds a better analogy even than this, please let me know, because when you're on a team, and like, let's say football, for example, or rugby, you and the team are moving that ball down the field. You're not hitting it back into somebody else's court and sitting back and taking a break. The entire team is moving the ball down the field. So like when we're at work, I'm like, hey, I don't ever use tennis analogies. I'm like, hey, what do me, the designers, the engineers, the trade partners, and everybody else, what do we need to do together to move this ball down the field? So it's a lot more like football, soccer, or rugby than it is like tennis. It's never like tennis, but it's probably more like some other life example that you guys are going to teach me about one of these days. But that's the bottom line. If we're managing emails like we're playing tennis, we are in big trouble. So anyway, those are my introductory principles. What am I excited about life? Well, I've been working with, actually they've been working with me. Fantastic company has been asking me questions about different lean concepts, TAC planning, Scrum, pre-construction, things to deal with, dealing with superintendents. And I've just been having a great time. And we've been doing a lot, and I was willing to just help him out for free, but he's like, hey, we need to pay you. So we signed up that company on a retainer, and that's one more company on a retainer, really good company, doing well, that are great people. And I do want to say one thing here, just really quickly. And this is important to me because I feel like this comes back to us respecting ourselves. Somebody put it to me, I think I saw a little post that was like, just like if you were in a restaurant, if you're in an environment where respect is no longer served, get up and leave the table. And I've also heard it say, and I was at Rapport Leadership International one time in a safety course, and they asked the question, are you willing to fire your employer because they're not being safe? And I can say absolutely yes. I have fired an employer before because they weren't safe. I literally fired them and said, I'm no longer working here anymore, and I'm doing something else. And it's because I could not sign on to the safety record and the safety practices and the decisions and the culture that company was forming. And so the reason that I mention that is because I only work with the best companies. I only work with the best people. I only work with people that are going to move the needle forward and do something with it. I research the companies. I talk to them. I get to know them ahead of time. I know what they're about. I know what they're doing. I know that they're into training. I know that they care. I know that the owner cares. And usually I don't waste my time with companies where there's a gatekeeper, like a project executive or a vice president or somebody who's smug and only protective of their own position and never wants to go do the right thing for the company, but is only interested in me. I don't work with those companies. I work with companies that are in it for transparency, for the improvement of others, for vulnerability, and who are willing to hire consultants when it's needed and trainers when it's needed for the benefit of their people. And so I'm proud to say that we signed up another great company that's doing great things with safety, that cares about their people, because in the past I have had to fire a company for not being safe. And so that's something that's really near and dear to my heart. So that's what I'm excited about in life right now. Here's some feedback from one of our listeners. Here we go. First, I would like to say thank you for your passion and the motivation you have when it comes to elevating construction. Your understanding of construction and the way you broadcast your message is a game-changing tool for a field superintendent to have in their toolbox. No, that's pretty nice. That's really nice. Every morning during my 30-minute commute, I listen to the Elevating Construction Superintendent's audiobook, your podcast, or other audiobooks that you have recommended. I started studying and implementing Lean and the Last Planner system a couple months ago when our Vice President of Operations started to guide the field team towards a lean structure. With the help from his leadership and your coaching, I have started to not only transform my project structure, but also overlap some of these ideas into my personal family life. There are countless takeaways, but a couple that have started to lead me down a remarkable path are cleanliness and organization, and also the giving versus taking mindset. Wow, that was really, really nice. I really appreciate you who sent this. I know who you are. I'm not going to mention your name because you didn't give me permission, but that's super sweet. This is a payday. I really appreciate it. So let's get right into this podcast. I am like jamming excited for this. The conflict is you, not somebody else. You, listen to me. You are addicted to emails. You are addicted. Your brain releases endorphins, chemicals. You are chemically addicted to emails and to being at the beck and call of other people. And so I do want to say really quickly, I'm going to use this podcast right now to tease some of my project manager brothers and sisters out there, because most of the time I can't get at you because you're better than me at doing what you do, and you're so much smarter than me. So I'm going to take this podcast a little bit of time to poke at you a little bit. I see a lot of you project managers, assistant project managers, PEs, and project directors and project executives being addicted to email. It's so funny. I've watched some of you. I know of one executive that just goes around, and when they visit the job, they just open their computer and he's on his email and he's just checking emails, doesn't pay attention to the people or the meetings, and then just closes the computer and gets up and walks away. Another senior project manager that I'm thinking about, whom I love, this person is fantastic, is always like just into the emails and responding to them and nerding out and making sure the response is perfect and just responding to them. Not quickly when they come at him, because I'll talk about that later, but just like, even if something else is happening, even if somebody is like standing in front of him, if an email comes in, it's like, oh, it's like, I don't know, Jehovah came from the like burst of the heavens and is like talking to him. He's like addicted, or he's like an animal, like a moose or a deer in headlights. I can't look away. And it's kind of funny, but I've been there, like in front of this person, and the eyes are just like magnetized to the left. And he's like, oh, wait a minute. I can probably talk to you after I answer these two. Oh my God, these 2 emails, I could probably get to you in an hour. And I'm like, man. And I talk to this person. I love this person, but he's always like, yeah, I'm just swamped today. Going home at 8 o'clock at night. Swamp. Addicted to emails. Okay. One more really, really top notch executive. Always behind the computer. And almost never interacting with the people on the project side. And has so much potential. And then there's my favorite, and I have to mention his name. I hope nobody sues me. Ryan Young, my favorite senior PM, and now in a totally different elevated role right now. But he would check emails and then close it down and do it at the right times, and then go mentor and be with people and teach and lead and prepare for meetings and be with the owner and do the human things that a project manager does. And I'm like, yes, like this guy, he gets it. Not always at the responses and beck and call of somebody else. You know, I think it would be funny. Like if I wanted the project manager, a lot of project managers to stay out of my business, I would just like open up 2 or 3 different email accounts and pretend to be a vendor or an owner's representative or something, and just keep sending emails to them. And I'll be like, okay, I just sent 6 emails. That should keep Sorry. I should keep him busy for like 3 or 4 hours and out of my business. Anyway, so there's a little trick for all of your superintendents. If you're annoyed with your PM, create some additional accounts and send them some emails, and they'll be hogtied to their computer for a couple of hours. Hey, PMs, a little bit of ribbing is not going to do you any harm. Don't get mad at me. Calm down, bro. You're triggered. It's not a big deal. You're being a snowflake right now. Okay, let's keep going. So the principles that I want to talk about, there's a selfish way to deal with email. No, not selfish. Self-preserving. Let's say it like that. Self-preserving way to deal with emails. And then there's the one-piece flow way to deal with emails that Paul Akers talks about, and you can check it out on his YouTube channel. Fantastic. So I'm going to talk about these two and help you with this. But the bottom line is, you can't be addicted to emails, whether you batch them, which is not the quickest way to do it, but it is self-serving, self-preserving, or if you do a one-piece flow system and actually get them turned around quickly. Either way, you cannot be trained to answer and nerd out on emails like Pavlov's dog, where once you hear this signal or you see this email come in, you're just chemically addicted to it and you start drooling. The experiments over time have proven that we get addicted to things like that. And people, and you are addicted. Don't get triggered. You are addicted to emails. And so in order for us to be effective, we have to have the capacity to go do lean. We have to have the capacity to go help our team. We have to have the capacity to go lead and do the things that we want to do. And to have the capacity, we can't be spending all of our time just addicted to these emails. The other thing is in construction is we take ourselves way too seriously. So we're like, oh, if I send an email, I have to draft it, and I have to like get 3 or 4 different sets of eyes, and I have to spell check it, and I have to run it through Grammarly, and then I need to send it past my editor, and then I need to like read it one more time, and then before I read it, I need to wait 15 seconds to make sure it feels right, and I need to pray about it, and then I should meditate, and then what I should do is burn some incense, and then I should send it. I wish I could say something else. Holy cow. Stop brain fornicating. I didn't say that. I caught myself. Stop brain fornicating this deal. Like, you need to just send the stinking email. As long as you're not harassing somebody or offending protected classes, stop taking yourself so stinking seriously. This is about communication. Okay, you don't practice speeches when you talk to somebody verbally on the phone. Why are you doing it with email? Stop being addicted to the freaking email. If you want to do something that detailed, write a book. Boy, I'm on a roll tonight. This is like improv. So here's the self-preserving way. And I got this from the 4-hour work week, and it's fantastic. And I personally like this because if I start to focus on something, I'm not present for other people. And I've got 11 kids, and I find that this doesn't work for me, although it's batching, and batching takes extra time, and it is waste. So please take it with a grain of salt, but also realize that we're always between, like when we talk about batch and flow, one-piece flow is the fastest way. And there's a mental part of that, meaning that when we switch tasks, it usually takes anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes for a major task. I'm not saying for emails all the time, but for a major task, it takes 5 to 15 minutes to switch tasks. And if you're switching emails, it at least takes a minute to switch your focus and get caught up. So the switching of the focus it takes extra time. But if you are like the Japanese in their car manufacturing plants, where you've reduced the change out time, the equipment change out time, or the cycle time to where you can change your focus quickly, then so be it. Go do your thing. I will say that for certain circumstances, I've found that batching emails helps because I'm able to focus, because I'm doing a one-piece flow with my mind instead of the actual emails. But from a lean perspective, one-piece flow is always better from a speed perspective. So in lean, when we're on the job site, one-piece flow is better. Supply chains, one-piece flow is better. Game simulations, one-piece flow is better. Your mental focus, you might time block or batch some things. You might one-piece flow some things. You just have to, there's a balance there, right? Because you're entering into a realm where you also have to deal with the time that it takes to switch your mental focus. So just keep that in mind. So here's how you do the self-preserving method. Limit email consumption and production to once or twice a day. Never check email first thing in the morning. Do what you're supposed to in the morning. Do your morning routine, do your systems, do what's going to make you money and focus on your role in the morning. And then check your email twice per day, probably noon and before you go home. And create an email auto response so people respect your new rule if you want to. Screen incoming and limit outgoing phone calls. Meaning when you are receiving communications, don't just always be at the whim of people giving you phone calls or wanting to come chit chat. If you're focused. And if you're responding to needed communication, respond to needed communication. Don't just let people randomly use your time, whether by email or verbally or by text or by any other method. And don't let people chit chat. Get them to the point immediately. Now, if you think I'm a hypocrite for this, think again. Whether it's in church or at work or in my family, I will sidebar somebody. Like literally, I'll be in a church leadership meeting and somebody will start droning on. I'm like, hey, love you guys. I'm feeling the spirit here today. Can we sidebar this? Like we are going too long on this. We're wasting people's time. I will sidebar somebody at any moment, anytime, anywhere. Don't let people chit chat. Get to the point. We have to realize once you sign Jason Schroeder up for something, you've signed up 13 people. Once you've signed somebody else up for something, you've signed up 5 people or 2 people or 3 people or 7 people. You've signed them and their whole family. So don't waste their time by just idle chit chat unless it's something that you're doing to build rapport. You actually care about what's going on. And then so avoid all meetings that do not have clear objectives. Great meetings, go to those. Bad meetings, don't go to those. And if there is a bad meeting, then you as a leader need to cancel it. If somebody proposes a meeting, request an email instead, and then use the phone as your fallback offer to make sure that you are vetting if the meeting is absolutely needed and if it has a purpose. Respond to voicemail by email whenever possible. This trains people to be concise. Meetings should only be held to make decisions about a predefined situation, not to define the problem. Ask people to send you an email with an agenda to define the purpose. Don't permit casual visitors. Use headphones or focus in one of those booths, one of those pods, even if you aren't listening to anything. Work smarter by batching tasks like email when necessary and when one-piece flow systems don't make sense. Empower others to act without interrupting you. Give them parameters to make decisions. Force people to define their requests before spending time with them, and use note capturing systems to make sure that anything you need to access is findable and quick. And so if you do this, it works. Now, pushing something to a later time can add waste because of delay, and it can add waste because you're attempting to remember what needs to be done. However, with email, it's the first time that you would have seen it anyway, so it's really not looking at it and then re-looking at it again. It's just that you're looking at it all at one time, and batching them makes sure that you have less interruptions throughout the day and you can focus more. So batching with email is probably one of the least offensive items that you could batch. But that is the most self-preserving method. You'll oftentimes find I'll check my emails at key points when it works with me, and then it's like, oh, you get a bunch of them, right? Because I've responded to them and I've attempted to close them. I don't just hit the ball back and forth and keep the chain going. I attempt to close it and act on it and just be done with it. So that is the most self-preserving way. Now, here's the Paul Akers advice. He talks about, and you can see this in his YouTube video. He talks about the burden that he had by getting 300, 400, 500 emails a day, which in construction, we deal with the same thing. You know, when I was a director, I was getting 350 emails a day easy, maybe even 400 or 500. And it's insane. It's really tough. And so Paul Akers talks about going to a lean system. He used all other systems that didn't work, and it was a burden, but he switched to one-piece flow and answers emails the second they come in. Now, this also works, and it is the quicker method, and it is the leaner method. But it's not going to work if you're going to nerd out and write a book every time. You have to get quick, and this is his secret. So the second they come in, he replies to them, and he replies in a variety of different methods. One is Voxer, which is kind of like a little walkie-talkie, WeChat or WhatsApp. I would also add GroupMe or text. And if you use these systems, if an email comes in, can be replied to, why not just go to your phone and do a quick voice message or a text message and send that information? I mean, construction, again, we overthink our importance. And so we think we have to write a novel. Oh my gosh, can we just stop this? Now, if it's a legal thing, sure. HR thing, sure. If it's something like you have to have record documentation to the owner or trade partner, sure, I get it. But you don't have to do that with everything. And for the love of all things holy, do not reply all with the thank you emails. There's a special place in hell for people that do that. Just so you know, I'm not judging. I'm just telling you there's a place in hell for people like that. So what Paul Akers does is he doesn't play tennis with emails. When people go back and forth and like this and that and back and forth with email, when somebody could have picked up the phone or done a voice message or just snapped a quick video and sent it by text or something like that, or sent it on WhatsApp, he doesn't play around. Most of the time, and you guys will probably all agree with me, you can get done an email chain that takes 25 different replies, probably in one little video, text, or voice to text, or voice recording in a single message, and just get it closed down, or pick up the phone and give them a call. But the problem is that we in construction attempt to do everything just with one method. And so we're like, oh, I got to say thank you. Oh, let's open the book computer program again. Let's open up Outlook to where we have to freaking put it through the incense and the editor, and we have to pray about it. We have to meditate. Oh my gosh, like, stop it. We do not need perfect emails, for the love of all things holy. Just get the communication going. We're worried about the throughput of communication. We are not writing a book. You are wasting your time. So stop being addicted. So Paul Akers recommends that you get people on the right communication system. If there's somebody that will just keep messaging over and over, he puts them on Voxer or WeChat or WhatsApp. If it's something that's quick, he puts them on one of those systems as well. If it's somebody that's lengthy, he coaches them to not waste his time. If it's an email, he'll respond by email, no big deal. But it's just like when we read in Death by Meeting, don't have meeting stew, right? Don't have message stew where you're taking all of these different ingredients and putting into one big email pot. No, put the different ingredients into different meals. Put the different messages into different messaging platforms that will make it quick and efficient and to where you can do it in a one-piece flow methodology. So that's the quickest way to do it. You might have your own way. Whatever the way is, remove the waste. That's the principle, because the current condition is you are addicted to emails, and you've got to stop that. So here's what I want to give you a challenge about. And I'm going to use the PM and project executive, project director role again as kind of a guide here. Because when I see a PM or a project executive or director or PE just always behind the computer, message, email. I'm not even saying email. There's so much email. Email. I know that they don't know how to do their job. Those jobs are people positions. Those are communication positions. Those are leadership positions. Daily, those positions should scale communication to the team to where they know what is critical for the success of this project. They should be removing roadblocks. They should have prompt communication, intimate communication with the owner about changes and conditions on the site. They should be asking the right questions and participating outside. Yes, office people, get out of the office and go participate with safety every day. And make sure, if you're a PM, you do not trust safety just to us superintendents out there. You come out and you participate and you go on walks and you ask questions and you give a second set of eyes and you walk around the project. But you can't do that if you're addicted to emails. And you should be a positive example of the values and the image and the personal organization that you want all of your field builders to follow. You should be participating in team huddles. You should be escalating critical issues. And on a weekly basis, going around and checking on team health. Again, removing roadblocks. Performing a safety check-in and doing a walk. Making sure that all permits are being issued properly. Reviewing your exposures from a financial standpoint. Making sure that you're reviewing contingencies, your budget, your status reports, whatever you use for job cost accounting and reporting and projections on your project site. You should be intimately involved with the quality of submittals, procurement, and artistically reviewing procurement and leading and mentoring the project engineers on site. You should be making sure that buyout is functioning well. like really well, and that you're getting buy-in and you're artistically building, and that you're visiting and walking the project and making sure you're fitting in these scopes with the current conditions. You should be participating as an office person in the schedule and owning that with your superintendent, checking in with the owner again, making sure that all observations and daily correction systems are in place, that the project is clean, organized, and safe, and that the look-aheads for schedule and for projections are set up to a point where our production tracking systems can work properly. And then monthly, check in with your supers, have one-on-one meetings with the rest of your team. Make sure that your project is heading properly in a good financial situation. You have good cash flow. You're running it like a business. Check your change order management. Make sure pay apps are going in on time. Make sure that you're holding effective meetings. Check in on the 3D coordination. Train your team. Make sure you do lunch and learns and do training once a week, being physically in person and not checking emails again. That you're providing a remarkable experience and going out of the way for your owner and taking some time to do that. Implement lean on your project site. Clean your trailer. Make sure that you're out there like checking on your project site and funding the things that are needed to take care of workers. And just make sure that you're constantly improving, that you're stabilizing your environment, and that you're enforcing, implementing, and caring for the respect for people and resources. And so when I read through this list of standard work that I created for office positions, and I can give this to you if you ever want to, it's a people position. It's not I'm a check email position. I really think that so many of us are like, oh, yep, I'm a good project manager because I'm doing everything that I need to do for emails and then some office works. And the superintendent and all these other people figure out all the people stuff themselves, and I don't need to be a part of it. Well, that is not true. You are addicted to emails, and you've got to stop. If you need help, reach out. There are ways to get past it. And you and the other people that you can mentor deserve a more remarkable experience. And if you're not spending most of your time caring for people and making sure that they have connection, relevance, and measurement, and that you're building the team first, and that you're having hard conversations, and this is from Patrick Lencioni's books, and managing direct reports, and holding remarkable meetings, and scaling communication effectively, then you're not in the role as a leader. And we need you to be. And I'm not being judgy. I'm saying I love you. Like, I love you, sis or bro, or whoever's on the other end, male or female. I want you to succeed. And so this is my advice. Do not be addicted to email. Get it under control. Get back into your role. Identify your leader standard work. Identify what your role looks like in the different phases of the project. And make sure you follow those systems so that you can head in a brilliant and remarkable direction. You deserve it. Everyone else does as well. It's about people. On we go.
Please join us next time in elevating the entire construction experience for workers, leaders, and companies coast to coast. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to share with your construction colleagues and help us spread the word by rating, subscribing, and leaving a review on your preferred podcast listening platform. We really appreciate it. We'll catch you next time on the Elevate Construction Podcast.